What would you want to say to Donald Trump if you could?
Oh, wow. If I thought he could recognize, could hear, but his modus operandi, his character has been established. I think there was a piece in the newspaper about friends saying that he was this way in first grade. He's been this way his entire life. I don't believe he's going to change, and I resent some of the leadership that think that, oh, if he gets in, they can manipulate him. They won't be able to manipulate him. What you see is what you get.
So you're saying you wouldn't, there's nothing you would want to say directly to him because you don't think he'd listen?
Exactly. I don't think he wouldn't listen, wouldn't hear.
What would you like him to know, though, about you, about...
I'm not the important one. I'm not important. But the culture of this kind of behavior, he's participated in it, and I'd like to see it stopped. I'd like to see it change. I'd like to see men grow up, stop being 16-year-olds. I'd like to see women get equal pay.
Donald Trump says this was just locker room talk. It's just...
It was locker room talk. But it's terribly destructive because they take the talk and they go out on the road and they do the talk.
So for him, you're saying it was not just locker room talk?
No. Oh, no. No.
What you're saying he did, do you think he would believe that's sexual assault?
Probably not. He probably thinks that his attentions are welcomed and that he is the big dog in the room. And so he gets the attention. He likes to have beautiful women around him, and that's the way he behaves.
And I'm just trying to imagine sort of all the possible things that somebody who's seeing this who might support Trump might say, that you didn't notify the flight attendant or
Correct.
complain to the person across the way.
Correct. It was then, the time and the place, as I said, that wasn't even possible. That wasn't even considered. It never entered my mind to complain.
That says a lot. The one other Donald Trump has come forward and said a couple things, nothing about you in particular, but I just want to read you some of the things he has said just today, and if you have any comment to them. At a campaign event, he said, "These vicious claims about me are inappropriate." He said, "These vicious claims about me of inappropriate conduct with women are totally and absolutely false, and the Clintons know it, and they know it very well. These claims are all fabricated. They're pure fiction. They're outright lies. These events never, never happen."
Why in the world he would blame the Clintons for it is phenomenal. But that's his wall of protection. This is how he is coping with the fact he's completely rejecting the reality.
Another thing he said is, "Take a look at these people, you study these people, and you'll understand also."
Yes, that was one of the reasons why I pulled out my pictures to show, because I'm 74 years old, and for him to now look at me at this age, he would never even give me the time of day. But I wanted people to know what I looked like when I met him.
Because you thought he would comment on your look.
Yes, I knew he would comment on my looks.
And at another event, at the same event today, he said that he has substantial evidence to dispute these lies, and he plans to make it public.
Good luck. I would think that he should be more worried about the current allegations of people from the past 10 years than he would worry about something 35 years ago. As
you
I said, 35 years ago, this was somewhat acceptable behavior.
A reporter from People magazine has also come forward saying that he assaulted her. He said about that, take a look, you take a look at her words, you tell me what you think. I don't think so, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's all in the looks, except for the fact that when push comes to shove, it's like the song. When I'm not near the girl I love the girl I'm near. So if he can't have a model, he'll take whatever he can get.
You believe that?
Yeah, I do. I do. But his dismissal that somebody is unattractive is, again, a serious form of what, discrimination. Very few people in this world are beautiful. Most of us just get by with being presentable and trying to keep clean and neat. So his dismissal of people like Carrie Fiorello from the Fiorina, you know, that was an awful statement. That, look at that face.
No doubt, I mean, Donald Trump has said, and many from the campaign have said, that this is politically motivated. That you, maybe there's some tweet was sent out, some organization said that your phone number was the same as the Clinton Foundation phone number.
Yes, my daughter told me that. Yeah, I have no idea how if it is. Certainly, I hope they've been getting half of the phone calls that I've been getting, because that would be a lot of phone calls.
Do you have any connection with the Clinton
No.
campaign? Have you ever donated to the Clintons?
Well, yeah, I donated something like $5 to get a button. Yes.
A button for
Hillary.
Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
And is that the only donation you've made to
the Clintons? Yes.
or the foundation?
Or the foundation.
Have you been in contact with
No.
the campaign at all?
No.
Is that something you would want to start doing, going out on the road in any way with the campaign?
Well, this is getting so down and dirty that you know, you sort of want, gee, I would like to do something, but that's not my inclination. I vote for dog catcher. I vote for everything, primaries, whatever it is. I vote because my grandmother was a suffragette, and her you know, ghost is in the background. You better go vote, girl. So, but no, I've not. I follow politics. I'm interested in politics, but I've not participated in it.
Just to go back to the event at Saks, when he saw you, is there any, you absolutely don't want to say what he said to you?
Not. It was like a bucket of cold water being poured over me. But no, I really think. I think possibly that would infuriate the whole situation that much more, and I'm not so sure we need to put any more fuel on the fire. And hopefully the fire will go away. No.
You're hoping this dies down for you?
I'm expecting it to, yes, because as I said, I think Trump's organization or Trump himself will come up with some other blockbuster that will occupy the media. He's very good at that.
But it's interesting to me that you don't want to use the word.
Well, as I said, I don't want to put any more fuel on the fire, and it's just, I think I've insinuated enough of what an insult it was, that's enough.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I really hope by Monday all of this is blown over. I really do, but I also hope that that anybody and any woman who has a story to tell, that they get an opportunity to get it off their chest, and get an opportunity to express their outrage. That maybe it will start a dialogue and we'll make some progress on this issue. because we're all in this together, men and women.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us.